Can a sister stab her mother to death in front of her sibling in the most horrific way? Unfortunately, such tragic events do occur in this world. On the morning of November 16, 2012, a call came into 911, the emergency call line in the United States. The caller was a 13-year-old girl who was very scared. She screamed, saying that her sister was stabbing her mother. At the same time, she was heard shouting for the stabbing to stop. The police officers collected her details and immediately went to her location, but by then it was too late. When the police arrived, Megan Zanella, who made the call, was in front of the house. Megan ran to the officers and begged them to save her mother. The officers went to Megan's mother's room, where they knew Megan's sister, Subrina Zunich, was present. The officers pointed their guns toward the room and instructed Subrina to raise her hands and come out. After a few seconds, Subrina emerged covered in blood with her hands raised. The officers saw that a bloody knife was still in Subrina's hand. Even though they checked on Lisa, it was too late, she was already dead. Reports indicated that Lisa had 178 stab wounds, some of which were severe. Subrina had not only stabbed Lisa but also twisted the knife. A slightly curved, 15-inch-long knife with serrated edges was used in the murder. Subrina's stabbing was so forceful that the knife was bent. From the injuries on Lisa's hands and Subrina's arms, legs, and neck, the officers concluded that Lisa had tried to escape from Subrina. Lisa's youngest daughter, Haley, was hiding in a closet, terrified by the incident. Although the officials could easily identify the murderer, they could not determine the motive behind the crime. Subrina Zunich, who committed this heinous act, was not Lisa's biological child but was adopted. Lisa's first husband was Nicholas Zanella, with whom she had Megan, born in 1999. Lisa divorced Nicholas in 2003 and married Kevin Nofel in 2006. Kevin was a truck driver, and their daughter Haley was born in 2009. Kevin was also divorced from a previous marriage and had a child from that marriage who did not live with Kevin and Lisa. Subrina was born on October 27, 1994. Her childhood was troubled. Her parents, Mark Zunich and Susan Edward, were addicted to drugs and had been imprisoned multiple times for various offenses. Susan was jailed in 1984 for theft and again in 1990 for selling drugs to minors. Before Subrina was born, Mark had been imprisoned several times, including for assaulting his wife when Subrina was only 1 year and 6 months old. Due to these issues, Susan left, and Mark took Subrina to live with her grandmother. Neighbors reported that Mark mixed vodka with Subrina's milk to make her sleep. Mark was often absent, and when he was home, he was neglectful. Growing up, Subrina suffered from mental disorders. Diagnosed with ADHD at age 4, she was later also diagnosed with ODD, bipolar disorder, anxiety, and depression. Subrina often had conflicts at school and with her grandmother, who found it challenging to care for her. As a result, Subrina was placed in an orphanage for the next 2 years and lived with various foster families. Her father died in 2012. Subrina was adopted by the Nofel family in July 2011. Lisa Nofel, who was loving and compassionate, had a background in social work, specifically in the sex abuse department of the Cuyahoga County Department of Children and Family Services in Ohio. She had extensive training in dealing with troubled children and believed she could manage Subrina's needs. In 2012, Lisa, Kevin, Megan, Haley, and Subrina lived together. After joining the family, Subrina's behavior improved, and she performed well academically. After Subrina's arrest, she provided a puzzling account. On the day of the murder, Kevin was at work, while Lisa, Megan, Subrina, and Haley were at home. Lisa typically put Haley to bed and went to her room around 10 p.m., with Haley returning to Lisa's room about 2 hours later to sleep until morning. On that day, Haley was put to bed, and Lisa went to her room around 10 p.m. Megan also went to her room to sleep. By then, Subrina was in the office area working on a school project while listening to music, unaware of what was happening. She worked through the night and then went to sleep but had a headache and couldn't sleep. Subrina claimed she went to Lisa's room to get headache medicine and couldn't remember anything beyond that. According to Megan, she was awakened by a noise around 1 a.m. and heard her mother screaming. She ran to her mother's room and saw Subrina stabbing Lisa. Megan tried to stop Subrina but was unsuccessful and then called 911. Determining the motive for the murder proved challenging for the officers. Subrina continued to claim she had no memory of the incident. Initially, Lisa and Subrina had a good relationship, and Kevin and Subrina were also close. However, family dynamics soon began to deteriorate. Subrina claimed Lisa gave preferential treatment to her biological daughters and wanted to send Subrina away quickly. Subrina loved Haley but was not allowed to get close to her. As Subrina and Lisa grew apart, Subrina became closer to Kevin, who treated her well. Subrina had the option to move out of the Knowful home after turning 18 but chose to stay to finish high school. Although this caused some issues, her behavior improved while living with the Knowfuls, and the authorities allowed her to remain with them. Following the murder, Kevin seemed remarkably calm when informed by the police and immediately inquired about the well-being of his daughters. His calm demeanor after such a brutal event raised suspicions. He sought all available information about the case and wanted to meet Subrina, but the police did not permit it. Kevin and Subrina's relationship became increasingly suspicious. The investigation revealed ongoing issues between Kevin and Lisa. After Subrina's imprisonment, Kevin donated Lisa's belongings and attempted to sell items from her room, suggesting he did not mourn Lisa's death. He received $785,000 in insurance payouts from both his and Lisa's workplaces, which he used to buy his old house, build a pool, purchase a new car, and take up helicopter flying as a hobby. Despite this seemingly comfortable life, Kevin's situation changed when Subrina decided to tell the truth after 9 months in prison. The relationship between Kevin and Subrina was not typical for a father and daughter. After Subrina joined the Knowful family, Kevin and Subrina grew very close. Kevin supported Subrina emotionally, and they spent significant time together when no one else was home. By 2012, Kevin was contemplating divorcing Lisa but feared losing custody of his children. He had informed Subrina about Lisa's life insurance, explaining that Lisa's death would benefit them financially. Kevin and Subrina planned Lisa's murder together. Subrina sought help from her friend Autumn Pavlik to find a hitman, but Autumn refused to assist. Kevin and Subrina initially planned to shoot Lisa but changed their approach when Subrina was unwilling to follow through. They missed a planned shooting range session due to Lisa's increased attention. The day before the murder, Kevin confided in Subrina about a heated argument with Lisa and expressed a desire to kill Lisa himself. Subrina, blinded by her feelings for Kevin, promised to carry out the murder. They discussed how Subrina would use the knife to kill Lisa discreetly and pretend to be mentally ill if caught, hoping to avoid conviction. Kevin provided instructions on how to stab Lisa and select the knife. If Subrina was caught, Kevin advised her to claim insanity. Since Subrina's imprisonment, Kevin did not support her, including not hiring a lawyer. On August 9, 2013, Kevin Knowful, 43, was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated murder, complicity to aggravated murder, and 6 counts of sexual battery. Although there was no direct evidence of inappropriate actions between Kevin and Subrina, Subrina's testimony was sufficient for the jury. In August 2014, Kevin was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years, eligible for parole in 2043, at the age of 73. Subrina Zunich pleaded guilty to aggravated murder in August 2014 and was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years, with eligibility for parole in 2042, when she will be 47.